It was a special day on the island of Sodor. The engines were getting ready to start the day as they were being fired up for work. The controller of the railway, Sir Topham Hatt, had walked up to see his engines. He had exciting news.
There is to be a special celebration happening at Vickerstown Station tomorrow. For this day, nearly 50 years ago, was the day the station was built.
The engines were indeed very excited about the celebration. They wanted to get their jobs done quickly and on time.
There is to be a special train to take to the station, decorations, food, and toys for the children. I need an engine to deliver the train to Vickerstown today before sunset.
All of the engines wanted to take the train, but none so than Thomas, who blew his whistle and puffed forward. "Please, sir," said Thomas, "may I take the train there?" The other engines just laughed at Thomas. Apart from Edward, this made Thomas feel very sad.
I'm sorry, Thomas, but you're needed here in the yards. Instead, Henry will take the train to Vickerstown. The rest of you have your normal jobs to do. See to it that you get them done in time.
The other engines were a little disappointed, but knew they had other work to do. Thomas was more so disappointed as the other engines left for work. Edward felt bad for him and wanted to cheer Thomas up. "Cheer up, Thomas. I'm sure you'll get the chance to take a special such as this someday." Thomas smiled as he left to shunt in the yards. Unbeknownst to the other engines, Henry was making a very loud clanking sound. He didn't seem to be bothered as he collected the train. He had passed Crosby with ease. Then he passed Wellsworth. When it happened, the clanking got louder and louder when suddenly Henry's safety valve had burst. He couldn't pull the train anymore.
Oh dear,
said the driver.
And we were making such good time too. Now what do we do?
The guard had stepped out of the brake van to ask the driver and fireman what had happened. When they told him, he said he would flag the first engine he sees coming down the line. Not long after, Gordon appeared down the line with the express. The guard had flagged him down and asked if he could help take the train. Gordon just laughed.
"You expect me, the fastest and best who pulls the express, to take this goods train? I think not. I am a very important engine. I wouldn't want to be seen pulling a goods train such as this."
With that, Gordon had puffed away, leaving Henry sad and hopeless. Moments later, James was seen coming down the track. The guard had flagged him down too and asked if he could take the train to Vickerstown. James gave a disgusted sound as he stared at the train.
"Ugh! I won't pull this goods train. They are dirty and terrible to look at. I am a splendid engine, fitted for only shiny and clean jobs. I can't be seen on Sodor with these horrid trucks. Find another engine to take this disgusting train."
And with that, James had also puffed away, before hissing steam in disgust. This made Henry feel even more upset. Not only for no one being able to take the train, but the fact that no one offered to take him to the works. Later on, Edward had shown up to shunt at Wellsworth. He had seen Henry on the main line and the train for Vickerstown. "Bust my boiler," he said in disbelief. "What happened here?" The guard explained what had happened to Henry and asked if Edward could take the train. Edward looked at the train. He seemed unsure, but still offered to try. He coupled up to the train, and with a blow of his whistle, he tried to pull the train. His wheels spun and spun, but it was no good. Edward couldn't pull the train. "Oh, I'm sorry," he explained. "I can't pull the train. It's too heavy for me to take. But if it helps, I can take Henry to the works." Henry smiled and agreed as Edward puffed away with Henry to Croven's gate. The guard had seemed to run out of luck when he heard a whistle. It was Thomas. He was running light and happened to come to check the line. The guard had explained to Thomas what had happened and how the other engines couldn't help. Thomas knew this was a big job, but someone had to do it. "I'll give it a go." "Are you sure?" asked the guard. "The train is very heavy and you're a little engine." "Of course I'm sure. Little engines can do big things." So Thomas coupled up to the train, and with a blow of his whistle, he pulled the heavy train with strain and effort. He puffed and shoved up Gordon's Hill as he continued without stopping to ease his axles. He had passed by Croven's Gate's workshop where Henry was, and had whistled for Thomas to keep on going. "Go, Thomas, go!" The sun was nearly gone by the time Thomas had made it. Sir Topham Hatt was indeed surprised to see Thomas pulling the train as the guard explained what had happened. Sir Topham Hatt turned to Thomas and smiled at him.
Well done, Thomas, he said. Not only did you manage to take this heavy train all by yourself, you did so even when no one else could or would do it. You are indeed a really useful engine, and I am very proud of you.
Thomas smiled and thanked Sir Topham Hatt with a small peep peep of his whistle. The next day, the celebration was absolutely spectacular. The children loved the new toys, the food was delicious, and the fireworks were a sight to see. Edward had indeed given a tongue lashing at Gordon and James for not helping Henry, while Thomas was awarded a new coat of paint and a trip to the works, to make sure he was in check. Yes, indeed, Thomas was in fact the little engine that could.